I thrive off creative energy and other people's creative energy. Like, I really do. I know that some people don't. Some people like solitude, but I mean, I'm fine with solitude, but I really thrive in a creative environment with other artists and music and stuff like that. For me, music is a massive part of my life. And like, you know, whenever I'm making anything, I'm listening to music, and it really inspires me, you know, whatever I'm listening to.
What are you listening to at the moment?
Just recently, I've started doing this little sketch. A friend of mine, he's a composer and he plays piano and stuff like that. He made this beautiful piece of music, and I was doing this little sketch to his music. I grew up in a household with a lot of music. My grandfather, his parents were migrants from Russia, and my grandmother was Dutch and first born in New York, and they ended up moving to Paris and then to Switzerland. And my grandfather was a lead French horn in the Swiss orchestra. So on my and they were very bohemian, like really out there bohemian. My mother was brought up with classical music and a lot of jazz and a lot of world music, stuff like that. And my dad, you know, he listened to a lot of rock and roll, David Bowie and Jimi Hendrix and the Doors and all of that stuff. I grew up with that, and it really did inspire me and influence me in everything, like in fashion. And then when I rebelled as a teenager, I got into punk music, shaved my head, got a mohawk, to the horror of my parents. Yeah, and then the skulls again. That was my rebellious. I still have. I've been wearing this since I was 14 years old. It's a little skull, and this here is a little dagger and skull, and I've had that since I was 14. That was my rebellious stage. I've never grown out of my rebellious stage.
We've got a question here from Angelique, who's asking if you could collaborate with any artist of any genre, who would you work with?
I love the artist Nick Cave. He's fantastic. Not the singer Nick Cave, although I love the singer Nick Cave as well, but the visual artist Nick Cave, he's fantastic. I love his playfulness and color and stuff like that. He's incredible.
Here's another question along those same sort of lines from Tabitha, who says, if you could have a dinner party with one person you draw your inspiration from, living or past, who would it be?
Tabitha! Again, it's another one of those questions that I can't answer. Like,
a real pirate.
No, they were horrible people. You know, the fantasy about pirates is like, you know, it's very romantic and stuff like that, the pirates, but they're just really, really terrible and people.
Tal again has another question. Tell us more about your recent paintings. So like this one behind me is, look, I've just disappeared into it almost.
Yeah.
That's hanging in the shop window with this little skull sculpture. Tell us about this one.
I like that it's kind of looks like it's corroding, and I've made a few of these paintings, and I'm working on another 2 at the moment. But I just want it to look like we're a part of the universe, and we're made out of like stardust, and I kind of wanted it to convey that into a painting. That's the other thing about skulls as well. You know, we call ourselves human, and then there's animals, and then there's, you know, there's the nature. We're all the same, and you can really see that when you do like look at you know, us skeletons, our skull, and look at animals. It all looks the same. They're just different shapes. We aren't any different, and we all feel, and we all love, and we all get scared, and we're all, you know, we should really all be looking after each other. And that's another thing that I like about skulls, is like, it's, you know, it's a kind of a reality check. It's like, no, we aren't like different or special, more special. We're all special, including all of the beings on this planet.
Tabitha saying your recent style of work has evolved. Do you feel that there was a particular shift in your life that inspired that through your work?
I think that whether you're an artist or not an artist, you're always evolving, you're always changing, you know, you're always challenging yourself, and you're always kind of pushing yourself, and you know, you just crave new things and doing new things, and that push and drive, and of course you're going to evolve and change and grow.
Have you got skeletons in the closet, Sophia?
I have many. I have so many, but like then I'd have to, like, everywhere you look in my house there's skeletons, and I literally have, his name's Winston, he's a skeleton, like he's about, but he's tied, he's hanging over there.
I liked what you said earlier about the skull being a scaffold for the skin, for the face, for the structure. And, you know, you've talked about sort of meditating on the actual form of the skull.
If you close your eyes and then you kind of touch around your eye sockets and your cheek bones, and then like your jaw, you can see it. You can see what your skull looks like.
Debbie has a question. Do you feel the skulls you create are alive, thinking different things?
All of the rings I've made, all of the pieces I've made, or the paintings or whatever, like, you know, I name them afterwards. And then, you know, actually my dad's really good at naming things. When I'm stuck at naming things, you know, I'll call him up and I'm like, you know, this blah blah blah, and he'll come up with some epic kind of name, and I'm like, yes, that's it. You know, he's an artist as well, but you know, he's got 10 billion kids. He had to like look after them, and he used to make jewelry a very long time ago when I was a little kid. And he came over one day and I just gave him some wax and I was like, can you just make something? And he just sat there, and he hasn't made anything for, I don't know, it was at least 40 years. And he just made this epic skull ring, and he called it the Grapes of Wrath. And then my friend Sam Cutler, who he was the band manager of Grateful Dead, well, originally Rolling Stones, but he saw that ring and he was like, I want that ring. And so I cast it and finished it for him, gave it to him, and he came over here and he just shoved it on his finger, and then it was stuck on his finger. But it was pretty funny, but he really loves that ring.
You've got some other pieces you were going to show us?
Yeah, well, there's that ring.
What's that one? What's it called?
I think it's called Together Forever.
So basically a wedding ring.
Well, it weighs a ton. It really weighs a ton. But I made it also to be like a little sculpture, so you can just, when it's, you know, you're not wearing it, you can put it down. But it's got 2 hearts in the back as well.
And your work is really rough, you know, it's not like a refined, polished, highly polished piece. Why do you want to retain that kind of rough quality?
Because I'm really uninterested in perfection. I think that perfection, there's no such thing. I don't know, it's boring to me. I wanted my jewelry to look like it's been bashed out of a rock. I wanted you to be able to see the cuts and the, you know, feel like you can see that it's been handmade. Like that's what I wanted. And, you know, if I make something that's too refined, I just give it a bash, or, you know, it's, you know, I'm not perfect, so I don't want, you know, like I definitely I just want them to be a reflection of who I am. And it's like, you know, a bit rough around, you know, a bit bashed up, but I wanted stuff that with character, that you can see it, like ancient jewelry, ancient Egyptian or Aztec, or, you know, all the, you know, that's my favorite stuff. That's kind of more, you know, before it got really refined. I really like that.
Tal's asking, what are your best-selling items?
Well, it's weird because my best-selling items are usually the ones I don't really like that much. The ones that you know, I thought, oh, I'm not, should I cast it? You know, and then I do, and then people keep buying it. And it's like, oh, also what I call them has a big impact. Anything to do with love, people really like. And we need more love in the world. So that's good. And also this little guy, people love this little guy, the little bunny ring.
Well, listen, we might sort of wrap it up there, and just want to say thank you so much for going the distance with us tonight and sharing some of your, you know, some of your thought processes with us, because it's just really fascinating. Guys, get along and check out the window if you can. Yeah, go and check it out. 40 Queen Street, Wallara.
See you.